Hello students, through this video I'll be explaining you the poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree, which has been taken from your book Beehive of ninth class. This is a beautiful poem which is written by William Butler Yeats. You can see in the picture the Lake Isle of Innisfree, which is situated near Sligo in Ireland. This poem explores the poet's longing for peace and tranquility of Innisfree. It's a place where he used to spend his days when he was a child. Innisfree is the name of a place. It's a very quiet place, and that is the reason the poet wants to go there. He had spent his childhood in this place. He has very sweet memories of that place, and currently, when he's writing the poem, he's feeling nostalgic, thinking about those days of his childhood, and he is longing to go to Innisfree. I will be explaining you this poem in the form of pictures, so I would request you to keep your books open in front of you while I'll be explaining the poem. Let's start reading the poem. I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. So the poet says that I obviously here refers to the poet himself, William Butler Yeats, who is popularly who is known as W.B. Yeats. He says that he wants to go to Innisfree, and he says that I will arise, I will stand and go now. Over there, he will build a small house for himself, a small room for himself, which will be made up of clay and small sticks which are used to make the fences of houses or make the walls. You can see this is a fence which is made up of wattles. He says that obviously when a person is living in any area, the basic necessity is food. So he says that as he will need some food to eat, he will grow 9 rows of beans near his room. Means he will be having a small vegetable garden for himself, and he will be getting the honey from the honey bee hive. He says that the open space, that is the glade, where he will build his room will be full of the buzzing sound of the bees, and over there he will live all alone in peace and tranquility. He is longing for the sounds of nature. He is fed up of the sounds of the city, the sounds that are produced by the crowds, by the traffic. He is so fond of nature. He says that he wants to go there and he wants to live peacefully. All he wants to hear is the sound of the animals. Like he says that he will listen or he will hear only the buzzing of the bees, of the honey bees. The next stanza. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. There, midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. In this stanza, the poet says that when in Innisfree, he will feel peaceful, and he says that the feeling of peace is felt slowly and gradually. It comes slowly, it does not come all of a sudden. He describes how he would feel peaceful, and in the morning time when it's cloudy, you can see in the picture it's foggy. He says that when it's cloudy and the view is not very clear, then it will appear as if the morning has worn a veil and has hidden itself. You can see on the in the picture on the left side, this is called a veil, and this is actually a metaphor. He is comparing the fog to a veil, and he says that the morning, it seems as if the morning has worn a veil in the form of a fog, when we cannot see through in the winters due to the fog. And looking at this scene will make him feel peaceful. Further, he says that when the male cricket insect will sing a song, that sound will bring him peace. So as I earlier told you, that all he wants to listen is the sound of the nature, the sound of the animals, birds, insects living in the forest. So you can see in the picture on the left side the insect cricket. He wants to listen to the sound produced by the cricket, and he says that it will bring him peace. And also at midnight, when he will see the twinkling stars in the open sky, their shine will give him peace. You see that it's an open sky, all he can see is only stars and sky all around, because it's an open area. This view we cannot see in the cities. Why? Because there are buildings, tall buildings. So he wants to go to the open area in the forest. He wants to build up a small cabin there. He's so fond of nature. Twinkling stars in the open sky will give him peace, and he says that in the afternoon, when the sunlight will give a purplish glow, it will also give him peace. During the evening, when he will see the linnet birds flying in the sky, then also he will feel peaceful. So it's the nature, it's the animals that are going to give him peace. On the right side, you can see the bird, small bird. This is a linnet that is found in that area. Let's move to the third stanza. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. You can see that the line is repeated again, I will arise and go now, which shows that the poet is quite determined. He has made up he has already made up his mind that for sure he is going to Innisfree. All the time, the sound of the lake waters striking the shore, it keeps on repeating in his mind. And reading these lines, I think it's also going to bring an sound. You're going to feel the sound of the water lapping in your mind. This particular technique, it is called sound imagery. When it evokes the same picture, it evokes the same you can say that you can listen to that sound in your mind, you can feel that sound being played in your mind. This is the technique called sound imagery. And he says that when he is standing in the city on the pavements, on the grey pavements, that is the roads, he can feel that sound, he can listen to that sound in his mind. The poet says that the sound attracts him towards the lake. Wherever he is, either standing on the roadway or on the grey colored pavements, he hears the sound deep in the innermost part of his heart. So this is the picture of the grey pavements that is found in the cities. Actually, the word roadway or the grey pavements, it symbolizes, it signifies the cities. In those times when this poem was written, it was not so much of developed. It was only in the cities that the roads were found. So he says that he's so much fed up of the urban life. He wants to go to that peaceful area and live there for ever and ever. That's all in the poem. I hope you are able to understand the poem through the pictures. Thank you so much.